Do it again? Oh, too late.
Welcome to the live. Before we get started, we want to
Hello.
we got hey boo boo.
Merch.
We got the merchy merch. Hey,
I
get
ain't doing that shot. You work that
get your
though.
get your
Oh, that's what I don't
TGSTS
have. Does my audio sound jacked up?
Oh, let's check on the actual. You know how that goes.
Because I don't have my mic set up. That's in a whole nother room.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
Where am I?
I don't know why I packed all my stuff up. That was so dumb. I could have kept my green screen, my ring
For
light.
real.
I got nothing.
Okay.
And I won't have any. I mean, I'm just gonna have to go downstairs and dig it up.
Oh, I hate that. I be doing that. I still have stuff in suitcases. Let me mute this because I see what you're trying to do. Play. We live. Oh,
It sounds okay.
Okay, we live. Okay, let me put this on the theater mode. Tonight we going live. Oh God, no, wrong show.
Okay, girl, turn that audio off. I'm confused.
What do you mean? What do you mean turn the audio off? What are you saying?
I'm hearing us.
Oh, can you hear it on YouTube?
I'm hearing it right now.
Let me see. What do you mean hearing? You're supposed to hear us. I'm confused.
No, from like 30 seconds ago, I'm hearing us.
Oh, it's a delay. Yeah, YouTube is always delayed.
I don't have YouTube on anywhere. You do.
Yeah, but it's muted, so. Yeah, let me check on my phone though. Do. You hear that rain? Wait, this is the wrong account.
It's not muted.
What do you mean it's not muted?
I can hear.
Do you have YouTube on? Anywhere?
I don't have YouTube open anywhere.
Any tabs or anything? But let me
Nope.
listen. Let's see. Anybody watching? Can you hear us? Let us know. Hi, Cora.
This is distracting.
You have YouTube on? Is your headphones on? Because I can't hear any of that. That's you. Let me see what this sounds like, though. Okay, now I'm playing a sound. Let's see. Okay, now I'm playing a sound. Let's see. Yeah, nobody else is hearing all of that. Okay, now I'm playing a sound. Let's see. Yeah, nobody else is hearing all of that. Okay, now I'm playing a sound. Let's see. Is that what? Nobody else is hearing all of that. What the hell? Wait. That's. I don't know. I don't have anything open. It's the same setup. Oh wait, this is. I don't have anything open. Okay, this is muted. Wait, let me turn it off, and let me know if you can still hear it. Can you still hear it?
You got me tripping.
Can you hear it now?
What is happening?
It's weird. It's like some echo chamber. I don't know.
Can you hear it too?
Yeah, you didn't hear it. It kept going and go. It keeps going, right?
Yeah, but you can hear it, right?
On YouTube, I can't hear it right now.
I can hear it right now.
And you don't have YouTube open anywhere.
Hi, Hudson Dean.
She said we sound fine. Thank you.
And I will come back.
Okay.
Because I'm about to scream.
It's the ancestors coming through. Welcome, Hudson Dean. We would love to have you on the show one day. That would be fab, boo. Cheers to you out here doing the thing. If you haven't already, check out Hudson and Dean on your socials. And okay, we'll see what happens there. But I wanted to play a little bit of the live for, let's see, YouTube. For the YouTube folks, for the Instagram folks, and maybe we can get some Instagram people to come over. So let's see. Okay, it may sound crazy for 1 second because I have to mute it, but let me see if I can mute it immediately. Okay, got it. Now I have YouTube open. Does it sound crazy still to anyone? Let me know if you're hearing any kind of feedback or anything. I want some feedback. Okay, M is back. No feedback? Okay, let's see. Now that M is back, is there feedback? Okay, well, that's good. Oh, yeah, then there's something going on. Demonic. Yeah. I did send you a link, so it could be anywhere. No feedback. Yes, thank you. The feedback is no feedback. Okay, now it may be because I'm trying to figure out how to go live on Instagram under TGSTS. So do you still have the sounds going on?
I'm gonna hop on a different computer because this is scary.
Shut that computer off. Like shut it off, because if you close it, it's still on technically. you know what I'm saying. All right. So yeah, let's see if this works. Go on a little IG live. Oops, sorry. You don't need to be hearing that. Let me turn this down all the way down and then talk about going live. We have 51 active followers right now. Maybe we'll get some people to check it out. How do I go full screen here? Anyway, a lot of stuff happened this week. Too much to keep up with. First of all, we had our vulnerability episode. If anyone listened to that, that was the first thing. That was on Sunday. Our episodes are released on Sunday evenings at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern time. And then we went live on Tuesday to talk about it. And then yesterday and today we watched The Best Man. So we're going to talk about that. What we're doing is we're doing a series where we're looking at shows that we watched as kids or when we were younger and see if there's any difference in our perception. Hey, Broken Traditions, welcome. Any difference in our perception from those. So this week is The Best Man, and we'll see what's next. I think it's going to be Jason's Lyrics. So last week was Poetic Justice, or week before that was Poetic Justice. This week's Best Man, and then Jason's Lyric. And then we're going to get a little gangster with it with Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. So if you want to join us in the discussion, let us know, and we'd be happy to have you on to discuss any of those movies. Also, today we've had the Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmation. Going to be the first Black woman, the first Black woman in the Supreme Court. And so it's an exciting time just for representation. No, it's not a solo show. Emily is having technical difficulties and is hearing echoes. Are you hearing any echoes, Broken Traditions? Also, everyone keeps asking me for your son's Live. Can you please put your son's info in the comments? Because everyone is jamming to that. Tonight we going live. Tonight we going live. It gets stuck in everyone's head and they're like, oh my gosh, that song's stuck in my head. So this is not a solo show, but I am trying to stream this somewhere else. Just waiting for Emily to come back. She had the stream playing somewhere and didn't know where. But yeah, anyway, I have not been following. Okay, let's see. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree. Broken Traditions. I want to know more about this. It doesn't age well. Are you still hearing echoes?
No, this is much better. Oh, Lord, I thought something was going on. Oof. I can't. Whew. That was scary. Where we at? What's going on? Having technical difficulties up in here.
I'm just going live with Broken Tradition.
Hey, Broken Traditions. What doesn't age well?
Poetic justice. I agree. It's toxic. I mean, it's still relevant. It's still happening. But so I guess it does age well. I mean, it doesn't, if not in the right direction.
It was cheesy. Have we started on this week's movie yet or no? Not yet. We talking about
Best
Poetic
Man.
Justice?
Well, I said they're talking about myself about Best Man.
Yeah, girl, shoot. I don't know. I love that movie, first of all. Best Man, no feedback. Good evening,
I couldn't get into it.
Best Man?
I think it was, yeah, Best Man. I think there were too many toxic themes. I was triggered.
I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I was texting you when I watched it. It came out, what, like in 99 or 2? Not even, maybe 98?
I have no point of reference.
I don't know, but it was college. We were in college. And I remember I was like, dang, like this movie, first of all, the soundtrack is everything. I love the soundtrack. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't really know the soundtrack.
Girl, you're killing me.
I know Black Card Revoke.
Killing me.
I told you I didn't pay attention. I wanted to watch it again.
You didn't pay attention to the movie at all?
As a kid, and then like I only remember
it wasn't kids. This is.
I mean, as a younger, young adult.
The 20-year-old. I don't know why, but I loved it back in the day.
Maybe it was like something you recognized.
I think it was a whole thing. But
and it's like the power women. I think that was something I loved about it. Like, look at these women out here doing the thing.
Which women? There was. I think it was very straightforward about. So you know all the New York stuff. I don't know about that. What's it called? But just the way that they viewed gender roles was funny to me, and it was a very stereotypical. I think it still is true today. It might just be a cultural thing. I don't know what it was, but they referred to Mia, who was soon to be the wife or whatever, as a consummate mother whore. Like they wanted that you have to be a virgin, you have to be pure, but you also, when you get it, you got to get it. But you have to be true to him. And he was stepping out doing all kind of stuff that she was just, you know?
But that's
and once that image got tainted in his head, he was trying to kill people.
Yeah, up here really trying to kill somebody after you doing the same thing. And this was like 20 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. So it's just like,
I feel like I could relate to a lot of this movie.
It's like a Jerry Springer.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's probably. Well, one, I'm working on a book. I told you, and it's like so funny because this is similar to what, you know, the character, K. Diggs' character did was just like a retelling of, you know, college stories or whatever, things that happened.
Wait, I don't remember you working on a book. You working on a book?
Girl, I sent you the stuff to read and you never read it.
You did?
Yeah.
Did I acknowledge that I received it?
Yeah.
Well, you
but that's okay. I was like, girl's busy, so it's fine.
Book, I don't remember at all.
But I think, I mean, I texted you, one of the big things that just kind of hit me towards the end was closure. And it kind of reminded me of our our podcast that we had last season about closure. And it seemed like this episode was about people holding on to the past, things that could have been, would have been, whatever, and nobody had closure about it. And once they were able to kind of bring everything to light, hash it out, get some closure, it was done. Everybody was fine. People were proposing at other people's weddings, you know.
Right? Rude. The disrespect.
Rude. That is so rude. That's the tackiest thing I could even imagine. Like, you can't propose to your girlfriend or whoever at somebody else's wedding. I think that's the worst.
People do it all the time, though.
Oh, broken tradition. She knows I want to write. She knows about that. She's read a lot of my stuff. I have a book. She has it. From my younger.
Oh no, I know you do, but I didn't know you were like working on anything like present tense.
Yeah, so. This is after that Fat Butterfly episode when we were like, oh, I want to write and I want to.
Unstructured conversation.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you're okay, cool. I don't think I appreciated that you were actively writing. So hey, get it.
Yeah. So when I have time, it's fun. If I can zone out and get all whatever when I don't have these little people up on me. I hate that you can't see the merch. The merch.
Oh yeah. We
can't see it. What's up with
TGSTS? Get yours.
Oh, hey girl. You say the OnlyFans? Get that out of here.
I was trying to show the
shirt.
I
to see that.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, dang, we need some hats or something. Lapel pins.
Lapel? A lapel pin? How old are we? I'm going to put that with your Rolodex comments, Rolodex.
Hey, all the kids go on your Instagram and look at these pins.
People wearing pins. We should have just a TGSTS.
Yeah, and also I think we should put it on the back so people can see it from the back too.
From the back, huh? I can't. Where's Stormy? I feel like Stormy said she's going to come through. I feel like.
Oh yeah, where's Stormy? Let me send it to her. Wait, what's the link?
I can't see all who's in here. I don't know. You sent it to me, and that's what messed me up. So I'm not touching that link.
It was probably playing in your messages. That's probably what it was doing.
But it was playing like three different places.
Instances, yeah.
It was weird. I couldn't hear. I was getting scared, so I just shut my computer. Go hopped on another one. No way. But anyway, so we watched The Best Man. I don't know. What am I texting the whole time I was watching it? What was it? Let's see.
Yeah, the themes.
I was saying, this is funny, because Mo was like, I was like, man, Terrence Howard is boy. I don't know. That was one of his first movies, right? Because I remember Hustle and Flow, and then, of course, he was on Empire, all of that.
I don't remember. Remember, we talked about it. I don't remember him. So I only remember him from Hustle and Flow. Oh.
but I said, damn, Terrence Howard is fine. She said, I see Eva when I see him. And then I was like, damn. And I was like, Eva the model? And so then I looked it up. Tell me that don't Terrence Howard. Right? Now I'm messed up. Now I can't do it. That's so wrong. And I'm like, they gotta be. Are they already relation? Like, unstructured conversation. What is it? IG picture in picture. Oh.
Yeah, I got it on IG so the IG folks can know.
Can we talk about the one thing that I'm obsessed with from the moment I started watching this movie to the end is just kissing.
Mm-hmm.
I kept texting you something about Black movies and Black love and Black people kissing. Like maybe it's the lips. It's so because I feel like you watch a regular, whatever, two white people making out on a movie, they got their lips all tight. Well, I don't know, but like they got their lips all tight.
I don't think I pay attention that much.
Like that, like it's almost painful to watch. See. Yeah, watching it, but there's like a sensuality. They got just full lips or.
Welcome unstructured conversation.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Oof.
No, show me a picture. Like I think I don't really be watching because I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Okay, let me see, because I can. Something about these just.
You missing some lips, Carly. I got some big juicy ones for you.
My lips aren't all that.
I know mine are okay. Like, what's this?
I got enough going on here, but it's something about some lips. I don't know. Where's my movie? Okay, I'm done looking at Eva's crazy picture.
Okay, can y'all see Eva? Okay, who else? Right, regular people.
Like a regular movie. I don't know. I know that wasn't the way. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's like that thing. What did it say? America
normalizing
minorities or something like that. And it's like, because people just say American and we got to add African American.
That's terrible. That's terrible. But that's what came out. That's terrible. I mean, I realize it too.
Conditioning systems designed for that.
Yeah, and that's gross. So I acknowledge that. That's terrible. that is the norm. That's the whole basis of othering, right? Yeah, and and from birth, I guess, from jump, that's what.
Right.
Ooh.
Trying to take away.
My bad. I'm sorry. It was not a conscious thing.
How do you spell Clarence Howard? I don't know. Just regular Clarence. Terrence. We're talking about Clarence.
We can talk about that later. And the news of the day.
For the team be like,
what is this? I'm not trying to. I don't even know what this is. What? I don't know how to do it, but
you can see you can still see the lips. Is that like you can still see like an outline of a lip or something? I don't.
No, it's just full lips coming at each other like this, like this. Whereas when you see two white people making out in most movies, and maybe it's a mainstream movie thing, it's for general audience. I don't know what it is, but it looks like two lips just going like this to each other. There's none of this. You know what I mean? There's like
Now I gotta watch.
Have you ever had a terrible kiss where you're just like, what is this? Lips all hard, nothing, like it's not. I've never had a bad kiss.
I've definitely had a bad kiss, but not like that. Yeah, most of my kisses have been good. Actually, I'm selective.
Maybe it's me then. You bring the full lips. That's what it is. You got that lip.
And then a lot of people have those inside lips. So when they first inside.
Wait, what are we talking about?
When they purse. Well, quite a few people have those. But yeah, where they purse it.
Broker just said that's so racist. Yeah, I'm just doing it tonight, I guess,
Come through, lip. Stormy.
Is she coming?
Mm-hmm.
But am I not making sense? Mo has never had a bad kiss.
I also have not kissed that many people.
Well, neither have I.
75. I'm just kidding.
How about that? I feel like that's something is that still a conversation you have? Like when you're going to be with somebody, do you talk history, numbers?
I don't care.
You don't care? That doesn't matter?
No.
Is it just at our age it doesn't matter anymore? Or is it like because what if you met somebody and they're like, yeah, I've been with like 150 women, so?
As long what's the results? What's the results?
Show me the test.
Go from there. That's like, The therapist receipts, the disease receipts, I want to see it all. Where's the work, man?
I wonder why that was important in the first place. Just as a younger person?
I don't know. Men are objects? I don't know. Or you wanted to compare yourself probably to other people?
To see if the experience matches up?
You wanted to be a part of an exclusive.
It means something, didn't it? Like, was it wrong that it meant something?
You're an exclusive club.
What do they call it? What do the young kids call it now?
Your body count. They talk about
count.
it.
There you go. I was about to say kill
body count. Okay, bye y'all. We're gonna get off of Instagram.
The body count. I feel like it used to be important. It
is. Like, podcasters. The podcasters talk about that. The body
but
count.
I mean, aren't we podcasters?
No, there's a whole
we're sometimes podcasters.
Black male like podcasters.
That talk about body count?
That just talk crap about Black women and body count and stuff like that. Just they hate Black women. It's just like all bashing. You don't see any other race of guys doing that. But they find sport in bashing Black women. So yeah, I've seen a couple on the body, and then some are fun. Like some are just like guys talking, and they talk about body, and they just have conversations. Like Enjoy the Podcast is a good example of that, and Playback. So but yeah, some of them are just like toxic. That whole Kevin Samuels kind of thing, and I still to this day. It's been about a year of you talking about Kevin Samuels. I have never, and I won't. I don't want to. Okay, I stopped because I think it sucked in. It is kind of interesting, but then that stuff lowers your vibration. It's like I can't.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I mean, the broad themes are factual. We talk about this with the movies and stuff. There are some things that need to be repaired, but this.
Hey, Adriel.
Hi, Adriel. But this isn't it,
Why do you think it matters? Like once upon a time, it did matter. Was that just a part of the
public health, maybe?
Or
same
the social like construct, like of gender expected norms for women and because I know men would lie about their body count, to seem like they had more.
To make it more,
players. Yeah. And I see that in the movie too, in The Best Man. Mm-hmm. What was that?
Isn't that just animal like a hunter gatherer? Like I'm sowing my seed.
Suffering.
And then you don't want the competition, right? You want to have the most exclusive group. You want to have the most selective, right? Because that's what natural selection, or you trying to select out
for women.
Yeah, and so I mean,
stuff.
Yeah, but they also want the most selected. They want the prize, like and so that.
But they'll spread it out because the overwhelming need to. But I think just like if you.
But it's like that's an exclusive club. That's my exclusive. Oh, that's my cat playing. Oh my God, that scared me.
Do you see what Broken Tradition said? Have y'all heard about the Black man who bashed Black women? Just got murdered by his white girlfriend.
Oh my gosh, I think I heard. I didn't know what was going on. I haven't heard about it. I heard bits and pieces, but
I don't know. I don't know where y'all be getting your information. I need to hook up, plug in, get some. I don't know where this stuff comes from, but that sounds nuts.
Yeah,
like crazy, like a karmic,
right?
Something.
Wait, Adriel, did you hear about this? Or if you're still here, that's crazy. Yeah, I had no idea.
Women lie too, and the words of Philosopher Secret, a virgin, honey, me this. Yeah, women would lie, and they would lie down.
Mm-hmm. They would lie down before they lie down.
Well, but I think there was a rule of threes. So if a woman gave you a number, multiply it by 3, that's her real body count. If a man gave you a number, divide it by 3 because he's trying to act like he's a player. Do you know what I mean? And that was a theme in the movie. Terrence Howard was like the perfect example of that. It's just, they wanted to be, like he was just like, oh, I'm going to, what did he say? It's about to be a hoasis up in here, he called it. I was dying, but it was just, there's that stereotype, or now she's claiming mental health after stabbing somebody to death. I mean, it is a mental. Who does that? That is mental health. But
I think I try to see what you spit in Broken Traditions. How certain people get that little mental health license.
We So you just cry a little bit.
And all of a sudden, they go to jail for 2 months and call it a rap.
Like Broken Tradition said earlier. Well, that's racist.
That's racist. That's racist. That's racist.
That's so racist. Where's that little kid? That little kid.
Basically, like, huh?
That little meme. That little kid. That's racist.
Oh yeah.
That cute little boy.
But I think it's basically like, how can we enslave people? Like, kind of like Jim Crow, the new Jim Crow. It's like, how can we do all of the things we used to do without actually having to do those things? So whatever pocket we can get it, like, it's sick for what? Like, why? Why is there a target on it?
This will always remind me of that. I think it was a reel that our friend sent us in the group text with that Black woman. She was on a podcast. Two white women have some kind of podcast about let's talk about it or something. They're trying to be woke or whatever. And she was just saying, like, your tears are manipulation. That's what the tears are.
Yes.
You can whip them out whenever. And
kill and murder people based on your tears. And then get away with it after the fact.
Yeah, and live a long life and then confess later and still nothing happens to you after you drag a little boy, but you know what I'm saying? But if anybody should have tears, shouldn't it be us?
We're not allowed to. Remember, we don't have feelings.
Exactly.
3/5.
So 3/5. Ain't that some shit? There you go.
Right? Ain't that some
They're not even charging her. She killed a whole human being.
Are they?
I don't even know the story. No, that's what Broker just said. They're not even charging. I feel like stabbing is so personal. Like shooting a gun is one thing, but that's like you have to keep.
That's like, I'm taking the
break through skin and stuff.
You can feel it. Like, I don't even like
cutting. That is psycho.
Before I was vegan, I didn't even like cutting meat. Like,
no, because you got to really get in there. Oh, that is crazy though. I mean, it makes me think of Lorena Bobbitt to be able to do something like that. Like that's psycho. That's like with scissors
to the like.
I don't even know how you do that. I said with scissors. I think it's the scissors she used. How do you do that?
That's some demonic stuff. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, juicy.
Oh yeah, juicy. Yeah. Didn't you do a podcast on that, or live on that? Broken Traditions, talking about he got Juicy's privilege or something. Juicy privilege.
I will forever love Dave Chappelle for that. I call him Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
So we got some good news today, though. Not everything is all, It's a big day, historic day. I almost choked up watching Kamala read the vote tally. I don't know why.
I missed it.
She says 53, or the yays are 53, the nays are 47. This whatever, the nomination has been confirmed, and I was like,
oh. When she getting sworn in?
I got chills when she's out. Ooh.
When the party.
Well, yeah. And it was shitty too. Was poopy too. I was watching it on. I think it's Sheba People or whatever. I forgot what the Instagram account was. And it was just a clip from like CNN or something. Yeah, such a moment, Adriel. It was amazing. But you see everybody cheering and clapping, and then you see all these people angrily walking out. And it's like, what are you mad about? What is there to be mad about? You know what I mean? There was no controversy. She is overqualified. These senators voted for her 2 times before, 3 times before, whatever, to get her on the district circuit, all this stuff. And now you want to stomp out, right? Like you want to stomp, and you wouldn't vote for her yet for this? Even though you had a record of voting for her.
She's replacing another replacing another like non-conservative seat. So it's not like
it didn't matter. It didn't matter who it was if it wasn't their own.
Maybe they know something about crime.
But that's what politics has turned into. I mean, my husband is conservative. He and I were talking about this, and he was like, "It's
real love right there."
It's real love. Okay, so anyways, but we were talking about it like 2 nights ago, and we were talking about how people used to be almost unanimously confirmed, and how this is the one branch of government that's supposed to be independent of all this politics, all this BS, and we politicized it by the fact that people.
Definitely symbolic for sure, but I feel like it's because he's said it before she was an option.
So did Ronald Reagan. So did Ronald Reagan with Sandra Day O'Connor. So we can't be like, "Ooh, Joe, you ruined it for me," because just because they called out what they were going to do in advance doesn't mean that it doesn't have substance.
It doesn't make it less, because she's overqualified. And they even said that. They were mad about that. Then they went on to complain about her being overqualified after they begged for a qualified.
As if that's even such a thing, you know?
I don't know.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think everybody wants to find a way to
switch things up to their agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
But
it's
that's
all
very
about
scary. It's very scary how it's been politicized. Love relationships and political differences.
We should. Is Sean available?
He could be.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That's what political differences. Yeah. Oof. You know what? You have any other mixed? Yeah, let's do it. You have any other mixed
religions?
Yeah.
Do I have mixed politics friends? I don't know.
Hey, stop.
I don't know.
Stop, Jimmy.
Well, it leaves room for criticism, broken traditions, but the same thing happened with Sandra Day O'Connor and Ronald Reagan. He said he was going to put the first woman on the Supreme Court. How do you be overqualified?
She was conservative. I see
Supreme. Nothing left to judge but God. So.
Facts.
I don't know, but it's about time. I mean, I think it's insane that it's 2022 and we're still sitting here talking about, oh, we got to get the first this. Like, how do we still have first? Like, why is it taking so long?
That's the real question right there. What, you are so selfish that we still have not had first.
Like, we haven't had a first. I mean, we've got a first.
Don't let nobody have
female vice president, right? We have a first Black female Supreme Court justice. And of course, it's going to be a first Asian American, first Hispanic, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do all that or whatever. But I'm just saying, for Black people to have been here,
but you got to think slavery, Reconstruction, civil rights movement.
I know, but it's so slow. I feel like it's because there's so much opposition to it still, and it's why.
I mean, civil rights 3, I guess, because you got slavery, Reconstruction, civil rights in the 60s, 70s, and then 70s and 80s up to and then you had the Rodney King, and then I feel like that's never ended since. So we got like all these, we stay in civil rights movements. Like, it's like, why can't we just all have rights? Why can't we have rights? I don't get it.
Because it's pie. It's pie.
I want to know what we're going to do. I'm scared. And I feel like we need to just go start an island.
What are we?
What magic would we create if we had rights? Like, what would happen? Will the world implode? I don't get it.
It's too much already. Feels like a grab to get Blacks and women to get back on board. I think it was a thank you. I don't know if it was a grab to get him back. He owes, I think, is what the sentiment is.
Reparations.
You were put there by Black voters, by female voters. So, and I mean, as a member of both of those groups or whatever, I kind of appreciate that. You put a Black woman in the second highest position in the country. Okay, I for one think that's great for my child, my daughter, to see that. I am grateful for that. I don't know that I care about her particular, but the symbolism is important, whether or not the substance is there. But the substance is there for KBJ. I don't think that Blacks are the only ones to celebrate first accomplishments. I know that they don't. Right. It's something. Okay, culturally, I mean, I'm obviously mixed, right?
Okay.
I'm Black and Asian.
You are?
Right. Yeah. Shocker. But what I was going to say is, when you have representation is so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people love Tyler Perry. They're the best man. When all that started coming out, The Wood, The Best Man. What else came out during that time? It was a whole bunch of movies with Annihilation, Morris Chestnut, Tay Diggs, whatever. It was just like black movie explosion, right?
Christmas dinner, or what was it called? Thanksgiving family dinner. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember. Probably Soul Food. Oh, I love Soul
that's
Food.
it. Thank you. You got it. We need to be on a trip.
Yes. I know. But all of those, but all those movies, there was a sense of pride. I feel like when I was watching them, I mean, that was part of my discovery of that side of me and my family, my identity, or whatever. And I know when the movie Crazy Rich Asians came out, my entire family that don't get along all that well came together and went to go see the movie together, because that was big. So I know that when there are firsts of something, it means something. And I'm just going to say it, I don't think white people understand that feeling, that first, like we have been denied something. Everybody, thank you, unstructured conversation. That's exactly what I was trying to get at, right? Because to be denied something and to overcome
something, yeah.
You know, but what does it do for the overall,
like winning something or something?
What does that do for the overall of the Black people?
Overall, I mean, what?
I think representation. Are you saying representation doesn't matter? Seeing someone in a position doesn't matter to the kids to see that, or to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's important to have a lot of representation on SCOTUS. Like, you got to have women there. You got to have, you know, people of different religious backgrounds, of different everything. You need all walks of life to have some kind of to add to the conversation.
Now that Broken Tradition says that, I remember when I was a kid. Now, if you listen to the pod, everybody left. What happened?
I don't know, but you said Black Christmas family dinner.
And you got it. You got it.
Soul Food. I love that movie. That's such a sweet movie. I made Sean watch it the other day. He loved it.
Oh, so let's see. Everybody fell off. Let's see what's going on. No, we're still there.
I offended somebody.
But when I was a kid, if you listen to the podcast, you know, when I was a kid, I was considered myself Republican. And I had, because I was in the, like, they freed the slaves.
They freed the slaves, yes.
But yeah, so I was Republican when I was younger. And so when Clarence Thomas was getting confirmed at the time when I was a kid, I thought that Anita Hill was crabs in a barrel. And so I was like, no, this is going to be the first time. Not isms.
Isms.
Remember that poem I had from when I was a kid? We read it on one of the lives.
And Japan and the economy, everybody's talking about. Let's talk about racism and Adrian. He said,
lifeism. Remember I said lifeism?
You started talking about Japan though, and you lost me. I was like, no, she didn't. He's talking about Japan. What Japan got to do with anything? Talk about. Oh my goodness, that's too funny.
Yeah, see, that's the mindset I was in. See, so I was like, this is a crab in a barrel. Like, I got to support this. This is a Black man getting into the Supreme Court.
I don't agree with him at all on anything, but it's important. But I will say it's important that he's there. You know,
like, because we're not a monolith. I think it's just an example that we're not a monolith. We're human beings. We have different opinions. We should just not be. That's the thing. We just not consider race, because it's like, I mean, we need reparations at this point, but once that's the level setting takes place, then
what does that look like to you? Reparations. I have this conversation all the time. What do you like?
I feel like somebody would need to like do some kind of calculation about this kind of stuff, like, and say, based on this many years, like they would in a negligence case or something like that. And then Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know.
Because
they'll give you $5 and make you like they did with the COVID thing. They gave people what, $1,000 and everybody's like, woohoo! Like, no, man.
That stimulus stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the purpose of reparations, what that 40 acres and a mule or whatever, was to level the playing field a little bit. Hey, you didn't have anything. You are newly freed.
Exactly.
Here's this to get yourself going. So what would be needed to level the playing field now? Like what?
Apocalypse. Because I don't
wipe it out and start over.
Because there is a memory that.
Ooh.
How can you stop it? Like, how can we stop it? How did we stop? I mean, we
there's no
stop, but nothing ever stopped. Like the amount of, we talked about this before, the amount of abuse, like, and things like that are going on that used to just be, they weren't even laws against it. It's just more in secret. Like, what has changed? What has actually changed? On its face, I mean, if you dig deeper, nothing has changed. And that's
from slavery to now.
Well, things have changed.
Jim Crow,
I mean,
and like,
yeah, it's just like things have changed, but they've just been shuffled around and mixed up to try to make you think that you're
and embedded in society in ways that we can't. Yeah, they're not overt. It's not overt.
Yeah, exactly. And so
there was I love comedy. You know this. You love comedy. And I'm forgetting his name. Netflix has a couple new comedy specials out. Who's the dude on Comedy Central? His last name is
Marlon Wayans?
No. Who's the
reparations
the
that started being handed out in California? Oh yeah, I saw something about they were a bill or something. It's okay, get him.
Yeah, but he was. Oh God, what's his name? He's got like an Australian act. He's on Comedy Central. He's on Trevor Noah's show, whatever. Anyways, he's got his I want to say Ronnie Chen. I don't think that's right. But he was just saying the way we compare people when it comes to racism, he's like, it's completely wrong. Like, you compare the worst of a group to the best of a group, and then you want to talk whatever. He said, let's take your lowest 10% and their lowest 10% and see who's really the worst or whatever. And I thought it was funny because they talk about, why can't you pull yourself up from your bootstraps and all this kind of stuff. And they're looking at people who are incarcerated or, whatever. And then they want to compare it to their congressmen or, of different races. And it's like, that's not, you're stereotyping an entire group of people based off the lowest 10% or whatever. I thought that was interesting. When we do comparisons, we don't look at a Ketanji Brown Jackson and say she represents what Black people are. We look at,
before they knew
Tyrese
she existed,
Baby Boy or something.
It was the first assumption that she was not going to be qualified. That was the first, before we even knew
who she was.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, a Black woman. Good luck finding one. Yeah.
Qualified. And I think what they're saying, and they don't even realize what they're saying, is we have made it so hard for you that it's impossible for you to hold this position, because we have made sure to make it so hard for you to get to a point where you would be qualified for this. And that's the problem.
Broken tradition.
I'm sick of this.
I have, let me pull this up. I love the fact that we are able to do this now. And I think that's something that America just in general doesn't acknowledge, is that people who
Jeffries?
No, it wasn't Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries is hilarious though, but it was an Asian dude. Ronnie I'm gonna find it because this is.
What were you saying?
Yeah, Ronnie Chang. Chang. Yeah. Okay, so that's who he is. But he was just saying it. It really wasn't that funny, the whole special, but that little thing was. But I was just saying, how another form of privilege would be that we don't have connection to family. We don't have family trees. It's very hard to dig that up.
And that can be used against you.
A lot of us don't have family tree documents to prove that they were family for, they're from slaves. So I pulled up my phone because you can look it up. I mean, my dad did Ancestry, I told you, and found cousins, found all kinds of stuff. And I'm just going to share, that's my great grandma, this baby.
Aww.
And she was born into slavery. She was a product of, nasty. Massive. Yeah. But I think it was a house. Her mom was a inside slave or whatever. I don't know what the words are. No, it's not. I was not doing that. Okay. I know what you thought I was doing. A house something.
God. You were getting but
I think if there's a way to find that history, I think that's another way. They make it so you can't, because they don't want to have to owe you. They don't want to have to acknowledge. Meanwhile, you got people like, I'm the third cousin of George Washington from, on those stupid commercials.
Did y'all see that thing? I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a thing talking about how all the presidents are even Obama's in it. They all can trace back to a common ancestor. Like how?
Put my foil hat on. Like right? That's some conspiracy
like, even
stuff.
Obama and Trump.
Well, he's mixed too, so he got, who knows? Oh, Trump. Ain't nobody related to him. Yeah. Oh no. He said, wow.
Dang, man, I got excited about Ketanji, then I got depressed. Like, that's just frustrating, because this is only the beginning. Only the beginning. This is not going to be a crystal stair. I'm sorry. Ain't going to be none.
I also think, too, just looking at her record, I mean, she's not like an uber liberal judge or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's appointed, obviously, she's been nominated by a liberal president, but her record it's not like for ideology purposes or whatever, too. I think it is more symbolic, because she's not going to be sitting here toeing the line and doing, which I think it's gross. I think the vote is disturbing to me, that there were only 3 Republicans who voted for her.
I was proud of that. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Did you see what they said about her, though? And this is the cuckoo. This is so cuckoo.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the crazy Q lady, said that Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, and Murkowski, I forgot her first name, the 3 that voted for her, supported the P words, because of their whole shtick that they were trying to. I'm not saying all these things on here, whatever.
The P word, private chat me.
Yeah. Because they were trying to pin that. They were trying to pin that on the piece, exactly, which is mind-blowing to me, because if you want to talk about who's got more of that in their associations, it's the people who are up here trying to. Anyways, I'm talking in code. Let me stop. Genghis Khan impregnated the world, Lord. Genghis Khan. Okay. His body count is high.
That body count.
Body count.
Dang.
Anyway, about
anybody listen to our episode? Vulnerability.
Anybody?
Oh, don't say that. How I delete this comment? Block you. Put user time out. Wait, I don't know how to delete the comment though.
Why are you blocking for 5 minutes?
I don't know how to undo it.
Who wants cereal?
I'm learning broken traditions.
Seriously though, The Best Man. We go talk. I don't know what there's to talk about, but I feel like we watched it.
What were some themes? You were going to talk about some, and then we got sidetracked.
I did though. I don't know. I texted you. Regret. Oh, my kids being loud as usual. We talked about how. Yeah, that we could do. Shania Lathan. I love her. Say, whenever I see her, I get excited. I think of her from Love and Basketball. That movie has my heart.
I just always thought she was so cute. That's really
every character she's played, I've loved. I just love her. I don't know. She may be a terrible person. I have no idea, but I love it.
I'm reading your notes.
But what did she say? She said, I may not be perfect, but I'm strong. She's kind of goals too in this movie, because all this mess is going on around her, and she was just busy trying to tell her man she's ready she's ready. I love you.
She was being vulnerable.
Let's do it. Right.
And he got scared.
Vulnerable. He sure did. He was like, oh, and she was like, okay, I'm out of here. And then she shows
and it was
up.
Like,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it was like you could see pieces. They tried to set it up from the beginning about how, he's trying to separate, it was almost like he had a fear of losing himself. He had to put the book back and put the thing, like, this is still me. This is still mine.
Yeah, because she was in his apartment, right? Because something happened at her place or whatever. And he was just there. Yes. He was, well, I mean, that's relationships. Because I used to be with it. I am a slob, I'm realizing. And my husband is very, just go to whatever. And but it was never this messy before. Now I think it's just because my brain is like, ah.
Yeah.
But you learn each other, and you kind of got to learn to live in the chaos, or learn in, find a middle ground where you guys both can be comfortable. But he walked in and he was like, got to put this back, pick this up, put it, I don't know what she was doing up in there for it to be like that. But in the end, though, when she comes to New York and she sees what's going on, she saw him all beat up, and she was like compassionate, loving towards him, finds out what's going on, and she was strong. Like, I feel like a lot of people would have been like, I'm not going to this wedding. You can kiss my ass, and all that stuff. And she was like, nope. And she tried to help the bride. She brought everybody together. She was like, I don't know.
That's a good example of a healthy person emotionally. That's good to see.
That was healthy. I love it.
Because you usually see people, hey, this ain't it. This ain't, and it's just like, that's not always the case,
The sad thing is I saw so much of my younger self in that Shelby character. She was a raging.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one with the guy from.
I was like, call me. Why don't you do this? Yeah.
Yeah, like so, like helicopter mom. Yeah.
But that's just insecure. She wanted to make sure she held on to it, because she, But every time I watch it, I'm like, I wouldn't have wanted to date me either. I was a mess back then.
Same.
Terrible. Mess. I apologize to anybody out there in the world that may have dated me.
Yeah, same.
Mess.
I just didn't know how to communicate. Did not.
I was just scared all the time. It's that vulnerability again, like we talked about. Yeah. That vulnerability. It's scary. And so I think that leads a lot of people, especially people who aren't very confident, which I think was what my situation was when I was younger, to open up without feeling like you have to control and you can't go anywhere. That's crazy.
Hold on to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want you to see anybody else out there in the world. It's just me. Like, like you have to be the everything. It's like, please.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole world out there, and it's just like, let people live.
But you have to trust. You have to trust, though, that there's a whole world out there, but you bring something to the table that they like, and that will keep them coming back. You can go out to a party and not have to worry about who they talk to. I used to, ooh, maybe that's some childhood stuff or some kind of trauma that needs to be figured out, but
it always goes back to the roots.
But I mean, you look at Morris Chestnut's character. He played college football, right? He played professional football. How do you have the ability to be vulnerable and trusting if you are that person's spouse or whatever?
Look at all these. I mean, what's her name? Kerry Washington. Isn't her husband in the NFL? Or was?
He's also Kerry Washington. I mean, like,
exactly.
If you're just a regular person, or I mean, I don't know. Those are my. When I was younger,
you mean like Kobe and his wife, and he did cheat, and they stayed together.
Right. I'm mad I had to come here under another account to comment. You made broken traditions mad.
Like, why didn't it just let me delete it?
We're learning. But I think that's a hard one. I think I think that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I think maybe that I get that from the movie too. Is my life choices looking at that movie mirror a lot of that, and I feel like I have to come to a realization where I don't want that kind of a person. Like I'm not healthy in those types of relationships. I can't date somebody who is known. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not, even though you may want that and it's attractive and shiny and ooh.
Because it is, that's a high level of, you got to be way, like, to have that trust.
Or accepting. Or maybe there is no trust. That I got to a point like that in my life where it was like, well, maybe this is just what it is. Am I okay with that? And then I was like, excuse me, no. You know? That's not okay.
I don't know what I'm okay with it these days. I'm like, I have no idea at this point. Just where are the decent people? Just decent people. The kind, decent people.
Where are all the cowboys?
Where, oh, where?
Can my baby be? Oh,
somewhere.
What would you say that? What do you mean? Where are the decent people? What does that mean?
I don't know. It's just like, why is it so hard to connect with people? You know, it's not just me. You know, it's a lot of people. Like,
I wonder if that's a socialized thing. Like I'm like the old lady, the old crotchety lady who's always complained about stuff. And I'm like, technology done messed everybody up. Like nobody knows how to talk. I don't know how to talk to people anymore. Like face to face, it's like, or if my phone rings, I'm not picking it up. Text me. Yeah, I don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah, it's like there's no incentive. It's just like, you know, go to the meat market, get what you have to get.
Yeah. And there's no, like, I feel like that's an art form. Communication and sharing yourself, being vulnerable, all of that is like a dance that we used to do that we don't do anymore because it's all, you know what I mean? Like it's not, we don't have to interact with each other.
Or if you do, they don't like it, and you know it's like too forward, or people aren't used to communicating, and a lot of people don't like it.
Not Magic and his wife. Cookie. Oh, is anybody watching? Are they? I thought they got divorced.
No, they did.
I don't know, but is anybody watching Winning Time on HBO? It's like the beginning of like the Lakers like dynasty or whatever. It's when Magic first got signed to the Lakers.
Yep, still married.
I think Kareem's in there. They are. Is their son okay? Something happened with that.
No, didn't his son just come out of the closet or something? That's all.
Yeah, but I thought something happened to him. No. So whose son?
Health-wise, maybe back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that's a good show. It's pretty good. If anybody's looking for something to watch, Winning Time on HBO.
Winning Time.
Pretty funny. Okay. Yeah, it takes place next to the Lakers are all losing time. I'm not a Lakers fan, so I can't even. No, I grew up in LA too.
Lake Show. Oh, I loved it, and I was in LA during the prime of the Lakers.
Nope.
And I missed the parade. The first parade. I missed all of it.
I missed turning cars over and burning stuff like maniacs.
It was in the middle of the day because I remember I was downtown already, but I couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I could, but I didn't know. You know, I didn't understand. I the right to be like, I'm gonna be.
You were allowed to do things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They turned out Lakers are losing time now. Whoever the casting people did a great job because that actor looks just like a baby Magic. He got the same twinkle in his eye and smile, like just like Magic. It's good.
I haven't seen. Have you seen the Colin Kaepernick documentary? Or not documentary, biopic?
Where's that at? Where can I see that?
It's on one of the. It's on one of the streaming services.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. What are they talking? What I mean, I feel like
I haven't seen it. It's not one of those like fast food.
I feel like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing just fell off. Like, what happened to him? Like I feel like there's unfinished business here. Like there's
like Broken Traditions was just talking about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, where's he at?
Netflix. Thank you, Unstructured Conversation.
Okay, so I'm gonna check that out on Netflix. But I haven't heard too much about him. I mean, I know he's gone another direction, obviously, because I guess the NFL wouldn't take him back, or they were doing something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but see, like, Colin Kaepernick.
I feel like he did that done dirty.
3 teams named front runners to sign Colin Kaepernick.
Like now? Like, is he coming back?
Huh.
I
don't know if that's real news or not, though.
I guess that's part of it. You make a stand, you stand for something and kneel for something or whatever, and
like, how sad is that? Like, all of the atrocities that have taken place, and to acknowledge it, you lose your money, you lose everything, and that's what we talked about.
Well, they changed the narrative too. The way this is another thing. The way they paint people, is disgusting, because this has nothing to do with the military. But they made this about that's something that whoever can do this is successful. And clearly, we are not the ones doing this. But if you can grab hold of the narrative and direct it the way you want it to go, you will always win.
Well, look at the people who have the money, who control the streams of information. These few people, they can dictate. They can say, okay, this is what's going to be on. This is what we're going to allocate our funds to. This is what we're going to focus on. We're going to push these away. We have enough influence where we can buy like ads and things like that we can create situations and events and experiences to make people not think about certain things. And then you have to end up digging for stuff. And it's like, how do you find out what's real? Because then even on the streaming services, like, look at me, I'm almost banned from Instagram. I never said, like, I haven't even said anything. Like,
girl,
the first time it was like, happening because I misspelled how, like, it's just like
calling somebody else.
Right.
And
it didn't even like,
if you read the comment, it makes context. Come on, context, please, people.
So it's just like, it's a setup. There are certain things people don't want you to talk about, and then they start setting you up and blacklisting you. And those are racist terms there. Blacklist.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me, though. Like, is there that much effort behind that? Like,
is it by design?
True, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it someone saying, okay, no, we got to keep, there's somebody with all these monitors somewhere, like, looking at what people are.
Algorithms.
But I feel like we need an Olivia Pope. Like, how did him kneeling and being very, very explicit, expressly stating, I am kneeling because this flag represents, or whatever, this country has done X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden it's the military. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they made it about him disrespecting veterans in the military, and it's like, this way to take it and go somewhere else with it. Like, that had nothing. And the thing is, he spoke to somebody.
It's just.
But he spoke to somebody in the military. I forgot who it was. Somebody known and higher ranking, because he was sitting during the national anthem, and they said, well, maybe a more respectful thing would be to take a knee. That came from somebody in the U.S. military. And then they went off and said he's being disrespectful. It's not like he turned his back on the flag, because we've done that before too. Or you put your hand, you can't, there's all these things you can't do.
You can have people do the same exact thing. If it's the right time, the consequences are going to be completely different. Look at all these people who have abused girls and stuff, who happily have Oscars, and yet we're crying about Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Or serve on Congress. Currently.
Oh yeah,
or
exactly.
serve in Congress currently, or sit in the Oval Office. There's been a couple of those.
Me sick. And I think to be cognizant of that, to see what's going on, it's like, it's depressing. Like, who wants to live in a world like that? Welcome back. Yes, please come. Oh, you want to come through? I'll send you the link. Let me send you the link.
Yeah. The linky link. I don't know. But I feel like that's one life that I'm like, what happened to him? And that's kind of the fear. I mean, you take a stand, and
he's pretty active, though. Like, I mean, the only reason I know he's okay is because of social media.
He's okay.
Going on. He's all
and
right.
How polarizing things could be. Because I remember Nike used him in this big ad campaign, right, about making change, and Colin Kaepernick, he was in the ad, and then people were out there on YouTube, on Instagram, on everything, just burning their Nikes, burning their, and I'm like, you already bought the shoes. Why are you burning them up? They already got your money. Like, how stupid are you?
Because people are stupid. I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
I knew somebody who was on the opposite end of my thought process, was on the opposite end, military family. They were like, this is so disrespectful. And he was basically the devil to them, Colin Kaepernick. And, we're no longer wearing Nikes. And so she bought all her kids Converse. Nike owns Converse.
Yeah, kind of like we talked about, like the Affordable Care, Obamacare.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. Colin Kaepernick, yes, broken tradition. I was asking what happened to him, because I feel like people don't talk about that anymore. Or maybe I missed some things about what happened or what he's up to or just what happened. That's crazy. Crazy.
Can't get on these.
And Broken Traditions had a post the other day that I thought was interesting about Russell Wilson. Did you see that one?
Yeah, about how people always want to call him
corny or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broken Tradition says I feel bad for him. I don't know what happened, but I know he got done dirty. Like, this is not,
because people don't want to see that kind of image, because that this disrupts the narrative that we're the Morris Chestnut. You know, they want to see that. They want to see that.
It was also kind of an offensive
in Best Man, the character in Best Man.
It's also what they said was like, you know what, Colin Kaepernick, shut up and play. That's what you get paid for. You can't have an opinion. Nobody wants to hear what your brain can do. Get out there and play. That's what and it was like to dance for me, perform for me, you know, entertain me, but don't have an opinion. Yeah. I got that feeling from that too. It was just like, you make money playing football, so shut up and play football.
Exactly.
As if he's not allowed to use whatever platform he has to, you know, it's almost like, why didn't someone tell Tim Tebow, stop kneeling and praying? This isn't religion. This is football. You know what I mean? Like, why did nobody say anything about that? Tim Tebow out here, you know, on his knees every time he did something good and do whatever this was he would do, you know?
I don't know how to get it. I can't log in anything. Okay, here. Broken Tradition, check your Twitter. I'll send you the link.
You know what I mean? Well, you know, now that I think about it, I know that correlation has been made before. But so you can be, I don't know.
Well, look, I mean, think about it. Like the civil rights movement and stuff, all these performers having to perform, being yelled at, ridiculed, and still having to go out there and do their jobs.
Phrasing. What do you mean unstructured conversation? Yeah. It's the Olivia Pope. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people, whatever team or whatever person or whatever like focus or whatever has a team of gladiators like Scandal who spin things, you know, like Tim Tebow kneeling. Look, a good, hearty Christian boy. He's you know, corn-fed Midwest. So I don't know where he's from. He may not be from, but you know, he's just all American. And look at him. He loves God. He's doing all. And it's like, you would never tell him, put that aside, shut up and play football. Nobody wants to see that. Shut up and play football. You know what I mean? It was celebrated. So when somebody has another opinion, it's like, you know what I'm getting at. I'm getting about it.
Okay. Hi, Broken Traditions. Oh, who's this? Hi.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You look a lot
I found that dog. I was going to use him in my videos, but I didn't yet. I didn't make a new video.
Okay. What you talking about?
Oh, you talk about Colin Kaepernick. I said I feel bad for him.
Why do you feel bad?
Because I think that he, how can I put this? I think that he felt a way about police brutality. He had no real way of expressing it. Then he expressed it, and he got ridiculed for it. And I think like vultures came a part of it and said, you know what, let me be a part of this movement and ride his wave. And now he's felt like he's lost, like, you know, like the Sean Kings and the people like that told Colin Kaepernick to keep going with it. I don't think he truly wanted to keep going on with it, but I think he felt like he couldn't turn his back either. He's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. And now you see him trying to get back into the NFL.
So that's true. Because Mo read that on some of the stuff. So he's trying to get in actively, like right now.
Yeah. So I don't know if you see my brother comment in the comments, but he said I think he said Captain Colin. So Michigan football team made Colin Kaepernick an honorary captain for the day for their team. But you know, Colin Kaepernick didn't go to Michigan, and Jim Harbaugh made him a captain. And during that game for the halftime show,
yeah, you did a thing on that.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick was throwing for NFL scouts that was in the crowd to see college kids, but he was showing them
being
used to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
being used like a black person being used to promote black students. I think what your hypothesis
was. That was my first initial reaction was that they're using him because a lot of HBCUs are getting the high college prospects now because kids starting to realize their power and they going to HBCUs instead of going to the powerhouse colleges. And I felt like they used Colin Kaepernick to get the kids to say, hey, look, Michigan, we're down, yada, yada, yada. But come to find out, the real reason why he went there was to throw the football at halftime because NFL scouts were there to watch the kids from Michigan play. So they used that opportunity to have Colin Kaepernick throw the football.
I don't know. I don't know where Mo went either.
How you see the phone? Look down, just saw you and a dog.
I'm just talking to a puppy. I just don't like the way the whole thing went down. Is I feel like whoever's in charge of, I was talking to Mo about this earlier. I don't know if he would come back yet, but just taking control of the narrative, and somebody grabbed it and reframed his protest into being something about the military, which it had nothing to do about. And so it overshadowed his initial intent by making it about, you know, disrespecting the military. And that you can't do that. Everybody gets up in arms over that. So people hated him without knowing what was really going on.
Right.
So somebody took the narrative over. So I feel like he got a lot of stuff, a lot of extra hate for stuff that has nothing to do with him. He just made the scapegoat, the target of everybody's anger when he had nothing to do with any military, nothing.
And so actually, from what I understand, it was a man in the military telling him to kneel instead of sitting down. Because originally,
that's what she said.
Was sitting down. Yeah,
exactly. He spoke to somebody at length, and this man, whoever it was in the military, was interviewed at some point. I know. See you later, Mom. Was interviewed at some point and said he said it was. They thought it was disrespectful to sit, so he advised Colin Kaepernick, you know, it might be more respectful for you to take a knee out of respect, but in protest. And they turned it completely around. And I was saying to Mo, I was like, I wish that, you know, kind of like the show Scandal with Olivia Pope. I don't know if you ever watched Scandal.
Yeah, I used to love Scandal.
Yeah, so the people who just change the narrative, or the fixers, like, our fixers are broken. Like, somebody got fixers. We don't have, like, whoever, you know.
A lot of people have. I mean, look at all the stuff people are getting away with.
Oh no, there's fixers on both sides. Everybody got fixers.
I know, but somebody's fixers are doing the job. Other people sleep at the wheel here.
And so now, have you guys heard about the NFL new rule for coaches?
Is it about?
I think you said something. Yeah, something like affirmative action or something.
After that case.
So basically now it's before, you know, they wanted to hire more black coaches. That's the new agenda. But now they have brown and black and women coaches are now mandatory to be a part of the offensive side of the coaching for NFL.
That's not a good thing, I think. Tell me if I'm too far off base, Emily. But
Okay.
I don't know. But do you think something like that? Because I know you did sports and law and things like that. Has there ever been a time where people make a law so outrageous that then you can bring it up and say, you know, this goes against blah blah blah, and then get the whole law overturned? Like you can say this goes, like, this is so outrageous, like this doesn't make sense, here's my arguments, and we need to overturn, you know, this code, or I don't even know how it would work, but you know what I mean? Like
they've had a lot of
a manipulation of the system.
But I wrote my law review article is on Title IX, and how misused, misguided, whatever it is, like it's not applied fairly or whatever. But I think, I mean, you're going to have some pushback on
Title IX.
Title IX is just like equity in sports. I think it specifically, it has nothing to do with professional sports. I don't think it's just,
okay.
You know, in colleges, and it's about funding. It's about having the same number of sports for men and women. The allocation of
that's a whole
kind of
thing.
like. I agree with, you know, allowing women. Obviously, at some point they weren't allowed to, right? They weren't allowed to participate in a lot of things. I agree that we need to create those opportunities because women's sports don't make money. You got men's football, men's basketball, for the most part, at all these colleges that make money. So of course,
do you see a world where there'll ever be co-ed? Because I feel like that's another example.
No.
Co-ed football, though? Do you want people dying?
Let me finish because like right now, like you can Google it. Like there's so many cases about like trans athletes and things. That's a different
topic. When you say co-ed, I feel like trans is a different. That doesn't fall.
Well, I'm saying like in an ideal, like for what this sounds like, it's leaning towards like an ideal world where it's just everybody playing together. Like that's what it sounds like. Because
I don't think that's ideal.
There are people who
I can't see that.
like say like there's like look it up. Like you can look it up. There are people who are playing on where, you know, from where they were born versus where they are now, and things like that. And so
like in
it's
Olympics and stuff, or
in Olympics and just in sport in general. Some students, I think it's the big one is a student, and it's like, so if I take you know, if I take some kind of hormone or anything, I wouldn't be able to play. But then you have to play in what you were born because that's just the way it's set up. And then
I don't know how to navigate that.
Yeah, you're taking the hormones, so it's like, is it an advantage? And so it's like, how is it? You're saying like, I don't understand. Like that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, how are they going to decide? Or like, I feel like all of these things happen so that we go to the Supreme Court and they decide. Like I feel like it's just building up to that. That's what it's building up because, for instance, right now trans isn't a protected class. I didn't know that. I think I learned that a couple of years ago or last year.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, me too.
Fact check myself here,
but like
because I'm thinking about I have a friend who's a female firefighter, and I want to say, and I may be completely wrong, but the weight requirements for a female firefighter are less than a male firefighter. So if they go into a building, they have to be able to carry out X amount of pounds. So lift somebody up, carry them, and I want to say they're not the same, and I think that there are a lot of regulations like that in sport, in physically demanding jobs to accommodate for male and female physicality. Because obviously, like, even if I was in the best shape of my life, I could never lift as much as my husband. You know what I mean? Like, that's maybe.
But I think that's the controversy of it.
That is the controversy. And I'm very sensitive to trans issues, to gender equality, that type of a thing. But I think we also have to be very realistic about the fact that male bodies can do more physically than female bodies. That's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that. Like that's science. right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's outliers of women who can just do crazy things and men who are not as strong, whatever. But when you talk about men and women playing football together,
or even
playing
basketball
together, no, not even basketball.
Have they ever done it?
I've seen, when I was at UCLA, it was during the lockout. I was there from 98 to 2002. And so a lot of professional athletes would come play in our gyms. And every day at lunch, Magic, Lisa Leslie, and a whole bunch of other other people at the school that would play with them, play together. That's at an elite level, right? And Lisa Leslie playing with me, I mean, it's I don't know how to explain it. Even at the very top, it's not, I mean, I'm sure they're better than some of the players who play in the NBA. I'm sure there's some female players in the WNBA who are better than, whoever, a couple people
I would say this. I don't think the best WNBA player is better than the worst NBA player. Is that far of a gap? I don't think I would agree with you.
I don't think I would agree with you
skill-wise, but athletic-wise, and they can't, is that far of a gap. Like, even when, what's her name? Serena Williams said that her being the best tennis player, the 700th male tennis player could beat her.
Sure.
She said that. Like, it's a far gap between men and women.
I feel like there's some dudes in the league who are just lucky to be in any kind of nothing.
I'm telling you, like, it's a big gap. Like, I've went to a lot of professional basketball games and seen it up close and see how skillful they are before the games, and the stuff that they don't do in the games.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. I'm telling you, it's a big difference.
Women's basketball is a whole different sport from men's basketball too. Like, if you watch women play, and I grew up playing ball versus the way men play, it's different. I feel like
men use more athleticism and women use more skill.
Oh, interesting. Can you explain that?
You can't power your way through people.
I like to watch women's basketball because I like the skill aspect of it, and it's more of a team sport. Like, professional men's basketball is more of a athleticism, and all right, one person gets to dominate. You don't see that too much in women's basketball.
It's different. They play the game differently. I agree with that for sure. But I don't think you could, in any world, I can't imagine men and women playing anything. Water polo, no. Like any sport. You're swimming, the fastest male, the fastest, and I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. I think it's just science, it's biology, and anybody who wants to fight about it in the name of women's rights or something, have at it. That's not my fight, because I feel like it's very plain to see that bodies are made to do different things.
Yeah, I think also, for track, Flojo got the fastest 100-meter record, and that's back in '84. There's kids in high school, there's boys in high school now is beating her record from 1984.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's why you get some of the pushback when you do have these conversations about trans athletes.
Yeah,
I don't know what, in my opinion,
I think trans athletes should compete in the sport that they're born in. Like, if you want to be trans, you can be trans. Like, look, Dennis Rodman, he's damn near trans. He still competed against men.
He ain't trans.
And he married himself. He wore dresses. He's a cross dresser.
Yeah, that's is it fair to be?
I think that would be fair. Yeah, because you can't put LeBron James in the WNBA if you want to. Like, right now, LeBron James at 38 years old competing against the WNBA players. He'll score 100 points a game. It's not fair just because he want to identify as that.
This is a good conversation, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. We should have a panel.
I don't know. Yeah,
because the complaint.
I think Leah Thomas should keep. Like, for example, there was a trans man that competed against the women in swimming.
Yeah.
So she transitioned to a man, but she still competed as a woman.
In the Olympics?
But that's what I was trying to say.
No. In college swimming.
There was a woman who transitioned to be a man, but still swam with the women.
Against biological women, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's because of the rules. Like, they don't want to. It's the rules that are making them do that. They haven't been.
So you think if Leah Thomas was good enough to swim against men as a trans woman, she wouldn't be able to swim against men?
What do you mean? Like, she would choose?
Yeah, like, why would, like, it would be more like, I guess, impact if a trans woman swam against men than a trans woman swimming against women.
I don't know enough about, Adrielle was talking about the hormone therapy, and it changes your body, like composition or its strength, etc. So it's not as easy as playing the sport as gender you're born. Yeah, because you're not, I see what you're saying, Adrielle. I'm trying to find a way to appropriately say what is in my head.
That's what we're saying, though. We're all saying the same thing.
And composed of the same things that you were when you were pre-transition woman, let's say. You are now taking testosterone to become a man. So your body composition is completely different from what you were. So if you were to go back and swim with the women,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of people.
What's the deal the other way around, though? So a man who is now taking, hormone therapy to transition to be a woman would not be able to compete with the men, right? Or is your body like, I don't know the science.
But before Leah Thomas took
the example of the other way.
Yeah, but before Leah Thomas took the hormone therapy, she was, as a man, ranked like 400. So she wasn't that great. She was a swimmer, like a collegiate swimmer, but she wasn't ranked good enough to become a national champion. But once she took the hormones and became eligible to become a woman, that's when she won a national championship. Yeah. So I'm like, if you want to, I don't know. I just feel like you can make
she living her truth. That's why she living her truth.
Yeah, but you live her. I'm not mad at her for what she did, because at the same time, you competed within the rules. It is what it is.
Do you think the ones who are like playing against? So if I'm today, like say 10 years from now, I'm young, I'm 10 years old. 10 years from now, I'm gonna go play some sport or something, and I'm transitioning into being a male.
Okay.
So it's like, what do I like? How does that work for me? Like, if you're forcing me to play against people who haven't had the enhancements or the changes that I've had, like, how do you account for that? Like, is that fair? Like, is it leveling? Is it a leveling thing? And so that's why I was asking, is it something that like we should just all play together and just figure it out?
I don't think we should all play together. It's too much. It's too much of a gap.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they're going to fix that trans problem, because now women athletes are now speaking out about it. There was a cyclist that wanted to compete as a trans, and they all said they're going to protest. They're not going to compete.
Was it a man?
A man transitioned to a woman, wanted to compete against women cyclists, and they all protested. We're not going to compete. We're going to boycott it. So
I feel like that's the concern. That's the only issue, is when men transition.
Yes, I think that
women and then compete. That's what's really at play here, because when a woman transitions, nobody's really talking about. Nobody's talking about that, though.
About it when women transition to men and still play against women. I've heard.
Yeah, well, it's within the competitive field of women's sports that there's an issue.
Yeah,
because of the unfair advantage.
Like there was a trans woman that had a MMA fight against a woman, and you see that the woman was way more skilled and she was beating her up, but the problem was she didn't have the strength to knock out, and unfortunately she just choked the other girl out, and that's just how the fight ended.
What are we talking about? She just choked the other girl out.
Yeah, that's what she did.
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, this is a complicated issue, and I see why it's a hot topic, because it was brought up during the confirmation hearings and the questioning. Yeah. It was dirty the way they did it. Who's that?
Defining woman or something?
Gender, whatever that lady was, but she was like, we need to protect our children. The way they framed this, again, taking the narrative, changing the narrative, the way they framed it was like, we need to protect our children in sports and in whatever from these trends, and that's not even what it's about. Like, why couldn't I don't see why.
I do see it protecting the children, though. I do see that, because if my daughter, if I have a daughter and she want to compete and she lose her spot to a trans woman, I don't think that's fair. There were girls who lost their spots who couldn't compete because Leah Thomas.
But to use the word like protect our children, it's
It has
language,
I know what you mean. Yeah, it sounds like something.
Like you don't like the tone of it, but I understand what they're saying.
But it's like dog whistling though. That's code. It's live. It's coded language. It's coded language. So I think it's not about protecting. It's about making it almost the way they talked about Title IX. It's about making it equitable, making it fair, and that's another conversation that has to be had after data, whatever is collected on what performance, on what is this, hormone therapy, on all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think just from everyday people like us just sitting here talking, it's clear that a male body performs different from a female body. And when you start introducing hormones to change the body to male or female, you're changing the performance, I would think. What am I doing?
like you're milking a cow.
Milking a cow. But you're changing the performance of that person.
So have you guys heard about the woman track star? Well, she's a track runner, but she naturally produced testosterone. Yeah, she naturally produced testosterone at a high level, and they won't let her compete against women.
That happened with some African women.
We all have both, right?
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, so she can't compete.
It's confusing.
Thought she was doping or what?
No, this is how body naturally produces
natural.
it.
No, they know it's.
I know, but did they think that she was, or they know this is how her body performs?
They know that's how her body is.
Ooh, this
is black?
A controversial topic. This is very controversial, but it made me think of something. So, we'll discuss.
You could private chat me that or whatever.
Yeah.
Mo, you sent me a wiki? Oh, this is in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. We should talk about that. I think I like Adriel's idea about opposing politics and relationships. That's a good podcast idea. I mean, people, we do a podcast. I say this every time we go live on anything, but like, there's a podcast that comes out every Sunday night.
Yes, please listen.
Pacific time.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Because you do podcasts, you have 2 lives a week. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure to keep making content? That's a lot. That's a lot to do.
We should be creating content. I mean, we do a podcast. That's not going to change. That was our initial thing that we wanted to do. And we're on Instagram because that seems to be the only way to get things done. It's just to be everybody's on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. But the actual keeping up with the posting on Instagram, it's hard to have. Yeah, content is hard. Yeah. When we go live, it's easy. We're shooting shit. That's what we do. Yeah. So it's not like we have to create anything with that. We just have to have a jumping off point, and then we just go off on tangents, which is fine. Yeah. Because that's just kind of what we do. But when it comes to posting reels and pictures and creative ideas,
I feel myself getting burnt out at times, and I just want to chill for a few days.
You have a whole setup, though. I feel like
you have a whole brand.
Yeah, like we just shoot the shit. We have no direction. You've got a whole setup. So
you have a whole setup. That's great. Very professional. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't get burnt out.
I took it serious, but I'm like, I don't feel like doing it today. So I just don't want to look at topics. I don't want to learn about nothing, and I just don't do.
Where do you find all that stuff? I was telling Mo, I was like, I need to be plugged in, dialed into where all the latest events, and I just feel like I'm out here floating. I don't know what to check. I need a Reddit feed.
It's Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter.
Twitter.
Because you find out. Dark web. Can you send the link for the guy who was killed? Because I don't even see that was deleted. I mean,
that's definitely all over Twitter.
I got to get on Twitter then. I feel like when Twitter first came out, I was like, I don't get this. It's just constant all day. And I was like, I can't do that. You have to live your life. How are you tweeting all day? And now that's what everything has become. Instagram all day, Twitter all day, Snapchat, this, that. So I just need to learn how to do it.
How to do it to make money. Even there are tools too. There are tools that will post.
Yeah, so just recently I got monetized on Instagram.
I know.
Yes, I don't know what that means.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails. I don't even know how to make money on Instagram, but I'm now.
But that's cool. Do it. What's required to become monetized? You have to
I have no idea. All right, so
followers.
all I know is maybe like a little less than a month ago, I made a reel, and the reel went viral. I don't know how or what, and it just went viral. It got like almost 250,000 views. And
What?
yeah, and after that, like a lot of people followed me from that. So from that week it went viral. I got
It's those reels.
9,000 new followers in a week.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, you said that.
That's the dream.
Yeah, I was like, damn, okay.
You need to make some
I just didn't
reels.
know how to. And they sent me a link and said that now I'm qualified to be monetized.
How long have you been at this? How long? When did you first start Broken Traditions and the YouTube?
Well, I started originally. I had two other ideas. First, I was the traveling vegan. I think that's when I met Mo from.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I used to travel every week, and I used to get like vegan food all over the country.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
I stopped traveling, so I started doing reviews on Black-owned products, and that's very hard to maintain the content because a lot of Black companies stopped making the stuff, or it's not that much out there, and a lot of people don't really check for it. So I think after the George Floyd incident, that's when my page started shooting up. So I got about 4,000 followers off of that. Then
wow.
Yeah, then I was like, I don't want to do that no more. So I just want to talk about things I'm interested in. So I changed my name again. Then it kind of slowed down because the people were still looking for like the stuff I was doing before. Then I don't know, I just started like branding it, going on Canva, learning how to make videos in Canva.
Yeah, you do a great, just like so professional.
Yeah, but it's not that hard. It's little templates that you got saved. And
is it time consuming? Is that what it? I mean, these things take time, right?
For me to do a video, it takes time because I have to set the camera up, make sure the lighting is right, make sure my camera is good, and then have to go on the computer and edit it. So if I do a video of myself,
lighting
it takes
in the
time.
back, I know about that.
Yeah, but if I do if I take a video from somewhere, it don't take that long. It takes no more than 15 minutes to make that.
And
I just do it on. I have the template. I just, I type what I wanted to say on top of it, something that's catchy and something that's what's the word?
You've been really catchy lately.
Controversial.
Yeah, something that's repostable.
Controversial.
Yeah, something that's repostable, and somebody could be like, "Hey, I agree with that," and they can repost it to their story or whatever, and that's all. And also, I do pay for an application that gives you the right hashtags to use.
Yeah, so that hashtag game is important.
Yeah, so Instagram went back to their usual hashtag remedy because they always change it up. That's why I kind of stopped with Instagram. But now they went back to what they usually do with hashtags. So it's called Hashtastic, and I paid $10 a month for it, but it pays for itself because it got me monetized on Instagram.
Wow, Hashtastic, thank you.
Yeah. And what's cool about it, it shuffles the hashtag so it won't think you're a bot. It does a lot of things to get your engagement up.
Yeah, that's the important thing, is to get the engagement.
Yeah.
Content and then engagement and regular content. Yeah, because then you got to get them hooked on it. It's like.
Yeah, but you got to make sure whatever they find you from, you got to be consistent on that. Like, I could have did like a dumbass TikTok reel of me dancing. I don't do that normally. Then people follow me for that. They won't see that no more. Then they'll just drop off.
Yeah, like, I don't want to see that. Yeah.
See, we did that. We did that for a minute. We got on TikTok and started doing stuff, and it just didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like it wasn't us. And so
I don't like to do those
dances in a minute.
I think
like all the extra
my word of advice is find like 2 social medias that you could just master and stick to that. Like I mastered Instagram because of my ex. Like she had a page that we blew up, and I think when we started working on her page, it was me and her. She had like a social media guy for her team, and we got about 10,000 followers in a week for her. So we learned how to do that. So I was like, all right, now that we broke up, I could just use that, what I learned from that, and put it to my page.
Dang. Is this a recent breakup?
I say like close to a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but we're still cool.
And that's awesome. And you learned something, and now look at you prospering. That's how it should be.
Yeah. And with YouTube, I use TubeBuddy, and they give you like the right. Yeah, they give you the right. They give you the right keywords. for each video. So if the keywords hit right, your video could go like, a little viral, or it get a lot of traction, and that's what help you become monetized on YouTube.
I think one of the difficulties that we face is that we're not in the same place.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like we have to schedule time for this, and it's not like hey, come over, let's do something real quick, or it's the whole thing. Yeah. And it's all via Zoom or something.
Yeah, so Broken Traditions has unstructured conversations with his brother, so kind of similar in two different places.
Yeah, so we do that too.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, because it would be a lot better to be able to like
be in the same room and have it set up.
I know, and then we were together. We forgot. We were so excited. We didn't even do anything.
We just giggled and talked.
Did we even take a picture together? Like,
no, we were just in our element. We forgot we had work to do. We didn't do any work.
Sound like my son when he get with his friends and he don't do no music.
No, nothing. Just catching up, because it's been a minute since we've been face to face. So
a good minute, yeah.
We got to plan more of that.
Yes, we.
I'll look at the comments.
LaRon's reviews.
Yeah.
I think it starts off that way, though. A lot of people just do reviews. Like
I do reviews, and also I do like reaction videos.
Oh yeah, LaRon's reviews.
Reaction videos. I think that'd be good too. I mean, we started off talking about trying to do movies, but this is why we are two girls shooting the shit. If we wanted to talk about The Best Man, we sure as hell didn't talk about The Best Man really tonight. We were just talking about trans sports. We were talking about.
It got us into Colin Kaepernick. You see, look, it's all related. NFL player on Best Man or whatever, player guy on Best
like
Man.
That's hard to market though, because we just shoot the shit. You don't know what you're gonna get with us.
It's very hard to break through in the space now, because during the pandemic everybody started doing podcasting. And what's going to separate y'all from anybody else? And I think that's the issue my brother and myself have now. Like we want to have that's going to separate us. I don't know.
Yeah, what's that X factor?
Yeah, like we got to say something crazy or just have a small niche where we talk about black women like the other dudes do. I don't know.
Right?
And that's the thing, you can see what's successful, and it may not be your brand.
Yeah,
you may not want to do that.
Yeah.
And then also, I've heard other advice where it says just do what you're doing, and when it's time, it just catches on. And
that's what happened with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had two posts that kind of, I guess, pseudo viral. I guess it did kind of go viral, but it was back to back, and it was something shareable. A lot of people shared it. Like blue check marks started following me. I'm like, who are these people? And it's interesting, because what Instagram do now is you get so many likes, they put a priority, then they put like regular people. So I'm like, if it's somebody with a priority, it's usually like an NFL player or maybe like a producer or a musician. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're learning,
Yeah.
It's fun to be there.
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun.
That's all I can say about that. It's fun.
It's our archive, we can look back at it.
I was definitely suggesting like look up YouTube videos on Instagram, or look up YouTube videos on YouTube, or how to like monetize it and how to grow. They teach you little things here and there about what to do. And that's what I did. And that worked. And I was like, okay. And once I grew my X page, I was like, oh wow.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm reading the wrong ones and watching the wrong ones.
It's all about hashtags and tags, and I guess catching the right story. Like everybody did a Will Smith video, and I seen a guy that I follow, and he streamed it right after it happened. He had 25K people in the stream. That's
yeah, like you gotta be on immediate. Yeah, we talked about that.
We were worried about that, because I was like, we were like, should we go? Because it wasn't our regular day. We go Tuesday nights live, but we're like, we should go live. We should talk about this. Yeah. And then the whole day we were like, let's do it in the afternoon. But we're like, should we have done it early? Like, should we talk about it right now? Like, we need to do it right now.
Like, I didn't. Yeah. That's the most lives I've seen on Instagram. Like, I seen like my friend, his wife, she does a podcast with her friend, and they both in 2 different states. and they went live that night just to talk, just to be part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's also a matter of just staying on top of things, like what's going on, what's trending, what are people talking about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it too. And I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to solicit the help of your fans and your friends, because I feel like that's a big one. Is like Mo and I get pictures of our friends in the gear, wearing the shirts, all the stuff, but they don't want to share it.
But they don't want to share it on their feed.
Yeah,
like
and that's why they're like, tag us. I mean, we've seen
and they refuse to tag us. Only one person tagged us. Yeah.
Yeah, out in the city, out grocery shopping, taking different like fitness classes in our gear, like just cute, but nobody wants to share it, tag it, and it's like, just tag us, please.
I think you have to keep reminding people to tag it, or even going to people's DMs.
We did.
It's a man. You went to the DMs too and asked.
Like, hey, yeah. Like, don't be shy. Y'all cute, okay? Y'all are cute in your shirt. Yeah. So whatever.
And this is stuff that people purchased.
Or they bought them. I'm like, you bought it. What you bought?
But I think a lot of times people feel if I buy it, I don't have to post it. Like, I already supported you. I bought it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we've given it away too, and people still ain't.
That's true. We've given them away, and they still haven't.
Did Mo just flash the camera? Mo, did you? Unstructured conversation. Did Mo just flash the camera? You showed your shirt. Hey, she's like, check these out. Trying to get some viewers. We gotta get some viewers. Follow.
Trying to show the merch.
Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, don't do
you guys do you guys take clips from your shows and put it like onto your Instagram page?
Yeah, it's slowed down a bit. That's my bad. My whole house is getting turned upside down right now. But I used to. And that's another thing, is the consistency. And I think
it's a lot of work, man.
We're struggling. It's the consistency of doing every week 2 reels from the shows and like videos and stuff like that. We just gotta get back in the groove.
It's a lot. Like, I don't know. My brother been doing it now, and I can't do it for my podcast because it's too much. Between my page, between my page, my job.
Right, your actual job.
Yeah, the real job. Yeah. The real job that pays the bills.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, speaking of jobs, I gotta go.
Oh, damn, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Broken Traditions, for joining us.
Oh, no problem.
Everybody else in the comments for joining us too.
Yes. Adrian, Unstructured Conversation. Ski
website's open. #TubeBuddy. You'll get it.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who joined us. And let's see. We got some last. Oh yes. Thanks for the love.
And if you have any movie suggestions for us to talk about next week, or at least get the conversation started, let us know. Message us on Facebook, or not Facebook, on Instagram.
Batman.
The original Batman?
The new one.
Ooh. Oh, we're watching old. Wait, who's it? Oh God, no, I'm not watching that.
Rob Pattinson.
I don't know the people in this.
The chemistry between those two is something else. Like, just the way they photograph, they got them strong jaw. Like, they look beautiful. Batman and Catwoman.
Oh,
and one more thing too, I just noticed. I don't see your Cash App in a little scroll.
It is on there. Ain't nobody sending cash.
You never know. I got a super chat yesterday.
Right, Cash App, TGSTS, M&Mo.
So if the Cash App is hashtag or the $?
I don't know. Mo, did you put hashtag?
Yeah.
Everything else. But they could still look it up. TGSTS, M&Mo.
No, I'm not sending no money to people I don't know. See?
Exactly.
I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I don't think
that would make a difference though, because it's a $sign on the page. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so on Thursdays, y'all come on at 9 o'clock?
Yeah, we come on at 9.
Oh my God, so late. Okay.
Right now it's late.
And I'm talking. I come on 8:45
on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. You know, it's always got to see because summertime's coming. I feel like people start to treat Thursday like a Friday, and so they're not really on
later.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We've changed times before, but the Tuesday at 8:30 it seems to be the most consistent and the same people coming back and everything. So
on IG.
Yeah,
I love that. We have regulars that are there.
Yeah, right. I just wish, like you were saying, I just wish they had like the technology like it is with YouTube, because it's just easier to navigate. Like you said, you can watch it on TV without having to plug or AirPlay anything. You know, it's different. Yeah, you're like, well, you're milking the cow.
Well, what are you doing?
All right. Well, any broken traditions? Where can people find you? What's your Cash App? Anything you want to share? Let us know before we head on.
Oh, y'all guys want to give me money? Yeah. $ Broken Traditions. You see my @ name right there underneath the dog. Broken Traditions, and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. My TikTok is very shadow banned right now, so I'm gonna just delete it.
Okay.
I get like 2 views on my TikTok.
All right, well, look them up.
All right, y'all. Appreciate your time, and thanks for everyone for joining.
Everybody.
All right, good night.
See you on Tuesday. Remember, it comes out on Sunday. Bye.
Sunday podcast.
The actual